Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this special Arkworld product training. This is a training that I personally used when I started my distributorship and trained my distributors every single week when I started the company. I guess you could say it formed part of my own support system as a distributor that by the grace of God, went on to help us grow quickly, right? Helped us to grow and succeed. It's so important. I can't emphasize this enough. To train your new distributors on the products and the business as quickly as possible, right? I used to do it within the first week, preferably in the first week, as soon as possible after they've joined the company. It helps them get a real fast start. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, absolutely. Never forget this, right? Duplication is the key to growth and wealth. Duplication is the key to growth and wealth. You've got to duplicate the skills. You're never going to be able to do it all yourself. There's a lot of these trainings we'll talk again about later on YouTube, product trainings like this one, business trainings and so on, and meetings. And you can learn them. I promise you, it just takes a little bit of time. If you're a new distributor in the company, I know many of you are, right? Welcome. I urge you to take good notes. Even if you're watching this on YouTube, take good notes. It's very, very important. And if you're not a new distributor in the company, here's what I want to tell you. Take good notes, right? You never stop learning. I'm just about to admit someone there. Never stop learning, okay? I always say, look, teach what you know as you learn and grow, okay? Learn a little bit at a time. Apart from selling the products and recruiting distributors, there are several things you're going to need to learn to be successful in Arkworld, and pretty much any business in multi-level marketing. You're going to need to work on if you want a long-term career. One is you're going to need to learn how to do meetings, okay? You can find a great one on YouTube. It's 29 minutes long. I got to have eyes here everywhere here. See what Elaine meant, admitting some people. There's a great meeting on YouTube, 29 minutes long. It teaches you 3 parts to a meeting: company history, the products, and the business. When I did 3 meetings a week, I started Arkworld. I did that on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, where I talked about the company history, the products, and the business. And that's how I recruited people into the company. You're going to need to learn them. They're real easy, by the way. I promise you, even if you did one for a couple of minutes, I promise you, you can do it. The other thing you're going to need to learn is how to do product and business trainings. There's some fabulous business trainings on the Arkworld YouTube channel. Check them out. How to build a distributorship. I promise you, some people pay $6-7 grand a month to go watch people in training classes to get that information. You get it for free in Arkworld. Check them out. Don't devalue them. Don't underestimate them. And you can also, of course, learn from this product training. So we have a lot of tools for you to learn all of this stuff. They're simple to learn and do. Just takes time, and just follow your notes. We all know, I'm sure all know this expression: in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, right? Hands up, you heard of that. Yeah, some of you. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. What does that mean? Basically means this, even if you just got started and you know a little bit, I promise you, you know more than your guest does. Does that make sense to you? You know more than your guest. So whatever you learn, pass it on. You can teach. The biggest part, though, and I got to mention this tonight, I do in most of the trainings I do, because it's massive if you really want a career, not just in Arkworld, but in anything. And this product training is a very simple training you can learn. But it's not trainings and it's not meetings. You're going to have to spend most of your time learning. The biggest part you need to work on is you. I promise you. Your habits, your disciplines, your work ethic, consistency, attitude, and things like that, and so on. Because the products in the marketing plan are the same for everybody. They don't change. Why does one person earn 10 times what someone else earns with the same kind of background, same kind of talent, same kind of hours? It ain't the products and it ain't the marketing plan. It's the person. For things to change, you got to change. Jim Rowan, right? For things to change, you got to change. For things to get better, you're going to have to learn to get better. And don't be daunted by that. I was when I was a teenager. You should have seen me back then, by the way. You know, you can do it. It's done in inches. You know, I was thinking about this. You know, Jim Rohn always just used to say, don't ask for less problems, ask for more skills. You know, and it's a great one to remember. It's a little bit at a time. You know, it doesn't matter where you are right now. I want to make this clear, by the way, to everybody. You have enough talent, education right now, right? You're enough as a person right now to be all you can be and get started in Arkworld. I'm glad the Lord is that way. You know, he doesn't say, listen, go over there and get prepared first, then come see me, right? He says, you're enough. You come right now, come as you are. And that's the same here, right? You can get started right today. Often as Christians, for any of my brothers and sisters watching this, we often ask God to take away the problems. Isn't that true? Isn't it? Come on, I've done the same. Yeah, exactly. Instead of what we should be praying is, Lord, help me get through them. And that's very, very important. You see, God wants us to learn, wants us to grow, wants us to change. You know, and it's where you have adversity and these things, that's where the change is possible. I always say the blessing is in the affliction. Always, every single time. You know, techniques will change over the years, right? Haven't they? We never had social media 20 years ago. I don't think I even used it 10 years ago, but we never had social media. But concepts never change. They remain the same. And today with the technology, it's easier than ever to grow and learn. And as I always say, you can put one of these buttons on, right? Wear the button, push the button on your phone, watch a video, and immediately anywhere in the world, 24/7, learn about the products in the business. It's simple to do. One last point before we start this. Testimonials are massively important. Testimonials of your success and other people's success on the products and in the business are always the best way to sell, best way to recruit, the best way to teach and train others are testimonials. You know, I was thinking about this as I was driving here tonight. You know, imagine, you know, talking to Mary and finding out what she said to recruit 14, 15 first-line distributors in the first 4 weeks. Now, that would be a training, wouldn't it? And that's the kind of point I'm making, a good training to learn. So it's testimonials are always the best way to learn, not facts. There's an important part, you know, in your career to training classes, but it's testimonials of other people's success, wouldn't you say? That make the big difference. Yeah, absolutely. Let the audience do the work for you as you build a group. Testimonials are awesome. If you have any questions and you're watching this on YouTube, you know, you can get back to your sponsor, your upline distributors. There's plenty of people in the company are happy to help you. Arkworld is a team. It's a family. I know it's kind of corny, right? But it's true. There's a lot of support, plenty of support in Arkworld for you. You can also find extensive information on Arkworld products. And you guys watching this live as well, you know, check out Ark Science on the Arkworld website. You really should read the science behind these products. It's phenomenal. You know, this has to also be duplicatable. I'm not going to get into too much science during this, okay? It's about an hour's training, but we're not going to get too scientific. You need to be able to teach this to others. If you want to stay behind or you want to call the company and so on and ask us some scientific questions, fine. But I'm going to keep it relatively simple. Question, this is to the people watching this live, you guys, right? How many of you are doctors? Raise your hand if we got a doctor here. Is there any doctors here tonight? See, we're struggling to find one, right? That's my point. When you're recruiting and getting customers and helping other people, you want to keep this business simple. If you get too scientific, it'll never be duplicatable. It'll be too complicated. Doesn't that make sense? Okay. Duplication is the key, don't forget, to wealth and a residual income. So the 7 parts to a product training, you'll love me for this because it's real easy to remember, and the 7 parts to a business training. And this is the corny part. There's one for every color of the rainbow. Well, come on. Ark, right? Rainbow, I know, it's corny, right? So 7 parts. Are we ready? Okay, I'm gonna have a sip of pink drink. Number 1, let's take some notes. We're gonna go through this. First one, opinions and facts. Why are we talking about opinions and facts? We're going to talk about all the products in a minute, go through each one. But I wanted to mention this first. Number 1, whenever you do a product training, this should be your number 1, opinions and facts. Why? Because here's what happens. You can have an opinion, by the way. I'm sure we all can relate to this, right? People have opinions about why England lost the football match last week, right? Exactly, right? You can have opinion about the weather, can't you? You can have opinions about religion, right? And I thank the Lord that Christianity is not a religion. It's a relationship. Jeanette, love you, sister. Absolutely. But there's opinions, right? Everywhere. Sports, anything, you name it, politics, Trump, Biden, there are opinions everywhere, right? Some of it can be entertaining, by the way, but you know what I'm saying. Now, here's the thing, danger with opinions. You go to a training class like this, you spend some time with Marky, right, on a lovely Thursday summer's evening, and you go home and we talk about the products and you're all excited. Oh, it's going to be wonderful. And you go home and tell, you say you're a lovely lady and you go and tell your husband and he wasn't on here. And the next day you speak to, you get your products ordered, right? They arrive. You start taking the pink drink and you speak to your neighbor. And your neighbor says, ooh, looks at the product and says, God, they've got this in it. Wow. So I heard if you do that, you get a rash. You get a rash all over your body if you eat that. Right? Nonsense, by the way. Absolute nonsense. But it's his opinion. He could also say, I heard about these schemes. Anybody heard things like this? These multi-level marketing schemes? I'm not interested in that. You're all excited. You left the meeting here, right? Jacked up. You speak to your neighbor after you got your order, and he dumped all over you with a negative opinion that there's no relationship to the truth at all, and now you're depressed, right? The conversation when you left the meeting was, this is going to be wonderful. We're going to get a new conservatory. It's going to change our life. We're going to put an extension to the house. We're going to go on a holiday in Hawaii. We're getting more money for the kids. It's going to be wonderful and dreamy, right? You talk to your neighbor, and now it's the conversation going on. Oh, well, I don't have much experience, really. And what am I thinking? What was I thinking, right? Why am I doing this? And that president guy's got a weird accent, isn't he? I mean, come on. The powder's pink. You know what I'm saying? You can talk yourself into a hole because of someone else's opinion. Does that make sense to you? Beware of opinions, okay? Product training's great, but you're going to get them. You need to arm. As Christians, we put on God's suit of armor. You go out in this world, believe me, you're going to need it. You've got to put on an armor, right? A protection. You've got to do that. Hopefully, it's the Lord's. Then you'll be fine. But it's that, when you go out there talking to people, you're going to get hit with opinions. I get them all the time. Now, or I still get pitched by other kids. I mean, wouldn't you think this would be impossible? Kind of like a bit. I still get people trying to recruit me into multi-level marketing companies. Excuse me, I've been doing this. Exactly, Jules. I mean, how crazy is that? So listen, don't worry about opinions, but I made some notes here and I wanted to share some with you. You'll love some of these because I've had some people put these questions to me. Let's talk about fructose for a minute. Now, there's an opinion, right? And then I'm going to give you some facts before we move on to number 2. Fructose. There's an opinion out there right now that says all sugar is bad for you. That is nonsense, by the way. It's not true. As any good doctor should know. All sugar is not bad for you. God provided sugar in fruit, and there's a reason he did that. You need sugar, good sugar, not bad sugar. I'm not talking about the stuff you go and buy in bags in supermarkets. That's a killer, by the way. A lot of sugar is bad for you. Sweeteners, aspartame, sucralose. These are cancer-causing sugars, right? That I promise you, sugar is such a terrible destructive agent, in your body when you take sugar and what it does to you, but not the fructose that we use. There's hundreds of kinds of fructose out there. We take it from a fruit. In fact, in one pink drink, if you're making notes, it's the equivalent of one bite of an apple. That's the sugar in there. And it's necessary. It's good for you. It's needed by the body. Without it, the product wouldn't work properly. I'll come back to that in a minute. As I said, there are many people that use fructose, but you don't know where they get it from always. Some people also make them up in labs. There's no synthetics in our world, no artificial dyes or colors or E-numbers or genetically modified this, that, and the other, right? Everything comes, we're not allowed to say natural, which is ridiculous to be honest, but everything comes from a natural source. We don't have anything artificial in there. Fructose is good for you. You need it because why? It aids with amino acid absorption. That's why. The reason I bring this up now in opinions and facts instead of I could have done it when I was talking about the pink drink is because you're going to get hit with opinions about sugar. Right? Now you have the facts. Maltodextrin. I had something about this. Maltodextrin. Not all maltodextrin is the same anyway. You can't generalize. Some people see things online and they think it's the truth. But let me tell you, you don't just get opinions with people. You get opinions online. Where do you think these search engines get the information from in the first place? There's a zillion opinions online. Some of them are frightening. Maltodextrin is needed. Many get it from corn, as we do, but it depends what supplier, where you get it from. It's a safe and effective, fantastic carbohydrate to use. And fructose and maltodextrin are necessary. And if you're making notes, write this down. They are used, we use them as a carrier to transport the arginine in your system. Without those carbohydrates, fructose and maltodextrin in the correct measurement, you wouldn't absorb the arginine and carry it into your system, transport it, I should say, in your system properly. That's very important. You make a note of that. That's massive, honestly, because you're going to get hit with opinions on this. As I said, one bite of an apple, that's all it is anyway in the pink drink. Now, another one, I keep getting opinion. Does this make sense to you? Yeah, another one. For diabetics, the Nobel Prize was given for the discovery behind the pink drink, the Nobel Prize. And part of that, to do with nitric oxide, they talked about was diabetics, helping diabetes. So therefore, even though this is fructose, which is good for you and from fruit, it's low glycemic. The pink drink is low glycemic. It does not spike or raise blood sugar levels. It's impossible. If anyone tells you anything else, it's an opinion, not a fact. You've also got to appreciate this, by the way. And by the way, should mention this. Sugar levels change all day, whether you're diabetic or not, all day long. Stress, what you eat, all things. Your sugar levels are going like this all day. It's the truth you want, not opinions. Have some faith. You've got to be strong. Because I'm telling, and if you don't know the answer to something, just say, listen, I don't know it, but I believe in this product, and don't try and get, doctory or scientific about it, but be strong and resist opinions. Because I tell you, they're very dangerous. Opinions can destroy careers, businesses, jobs. When I first got involved in business, my mom and dad loved him. By the way, he loved me, my dad, but he said to me, you don't want to be doing that. You should get a trade and get a decent wage packet on a Thursday or Friday, right? Every single week. You know what I mean, right? Came from that generation. He thought I was insane. He said to me, my uncle said to me, was from East London. My uncle, he said, as he always used to do this. Have you ever noticed that? Some people, he'd say, what do you want to sell these pills for? He said to me, what's going on? He said, so sell pills, he said, pills. He said, called pills. I said, they're not pills. He said, pills, mate, pills, mate. He says, get a decent job, mate, get a decent. That was it, right? So you got to be careful because they can come, you get opinions from your family. That makes sense? I tell you, that puts you off sometimes. It doesn't mean they don't love you. Just means they have a different viewpoint. And that could have destroyed my dreams if I'd listened. Businesses, jobs, family, health. You can listen to someone's opinion and do the wrong thing and hurt your own health. I tell you who loves opinions and lies. And if you're a believer, you'll understand this. If you're not, you might not, but I'll tell you anyway, because the truth shall set you free. Truth will make you free. The devil loves opinions. Nothing he loves more than putting in lies and opinions in your head. Why? Because he doesn't want you to know the truth. That's why. You've got to ignore it. Discard it as the rubbish that it is. Stop listening to opinions. Have some faith. You know, when Jesus sent out his disciples 2 at a time, by the way, do you notice he sent them out 2 at a time because they were stronger together? You know, when they knocked people's doors, he said to them this: when you leave, in simple terms, shake every grain of sand from your shoes. Now, why? Because he knew that they could get infected with some negative, whiny, wrong, evil, maybe even opinion. And he didn't want them to get infected with it and it to change them. So he said, make sure you shake every grain of sand from your shoes. Here's the point. It's not important that they buy your story when you're talking to people. It isn't. It's important that you don't buy any part of their story at all. Never forget that. Doesn't matter whether they buy your story or not. They may not agree with you. But make sure you don't agree with their opinions, because that's when it affects you. You're going to get opinions, and here's a few facts. And by the way, there's another one you might want to write down. They say this, I think it's higher. 90% of what people talk about in the world is their own opinion, not facts. I actually think it's more like 97, 98%, but that's my own opinion. That's my opinion, you see. I think it's higher. Certainly a lot, or wouldn't you say? Majority of what we talk about is an opinion. Here's a few facts if you want to make a note. Just am I getting this across to you? They're destructive. Don't listen to them. Best fact of all for your notes: testimonials. You can't argue with a testimonial, period. If you've had this problem, you get on the product, and now you don't, they may not buy your product, they may not agree with you, but you can't argue with a testimonial. It's fact. You had a problem, and now you don't. You took the product. That's it. Same with the business. If you show someone your check or your income, and you've got a successful business, and someone tries to tell you it doesn't work, you can say, aha, okay? This works, look. Right? Facts you should listen to, and the best facts of all are testimonials. Here's another one. Doctors. Arkworld has one of the finest medical boards ever assembled. Took years. You're sitting listening to me tonight. I thank you for doing so, but there's been a lot go into this. I mean, a lot, many years, a lot of hard work. We have a phenomenal team, and they have 40 years research. There's another fact for you behind them. Arkworld's medical team, clinical research. Lots gone into this. The pink drink alone, the Nobel Prize had 35 years before I even came along behind it. Groundbreaking is another fact for you. Scientific discoveries. They're not just products. Like, where are we? The purple pill, it's double patented. It's a new discovery in there to help it as an anti-inflammatory. You know, they're the envy of the industry. Nobel Prize winning science we've already discussed. Ship shape, new fat burning. Weight control, innovation, breakthroughs in science, a new protein to the marketplace that no one's ever had before. And I can't take the credit for this at all. This is a result of, well, the Lord and years of work, okay? We're meant to plant and we're meant to water, and God gives the increase. Amen? Exactly. What else can I tell you? Finest ingredients. If anyone asks about an ingredient and they say this, that, and the other in a negative sense, trust me, there's going to come a point there where you have to trust. There is. Just trust it works and that we have the finest ingredients possible. Arkworld's exclusive micronutritional products, and that's what the word we'll come to in a minute, micronutrition. We use the best ingredients in the world, easily digestible and absorbable. At a cellular level, by the way, this is about cellular healing. Again, we'll come back to that in a moment. Laboratories, Arkworld Labs and Manufacturing. you should really want to know this if you're going to be in this business, uses the most innovative technology. I plan in the future with Arkworld as we develop leadership to take out teams of us, fly us out, and you get to put your little white hat on and your little white coat, and we'll go around the labs and you'll see Arkworld products being made. They're remarkable. In fact, Arkworld manufacturers in the top 1% of manufacturers in America. The top 1%. And we're in the top part of that 1%. And that's not our claim. And they're also FDA approved and regulated. I know some of you, mentioned this, was impressed with that. Yes, FDA approved and regulated and certified. They're also TGA certified for Australia as well. And I'll come back to more of those endorsements and things in a moment. Quality control. We're one of the only manufacturers to have 2 quality controls. In other words, ingredients are inspected when they come in with an infrared. We have an infrared testing that can see if herbs, as they say in America, are spiked with synthetics. Some of you may think, what? Yes, that's right. Some companies spike herbs with synthetics because it's cheaper. There's a lot goes on in the health industry. You've got to be very careful of. Exactly. You wouldn't believe, and I'm not mentioning names, so I can't be sued. Right? But it goes on. Right? We test them, the quality of the ingredients when they come in. We test them throughout the formulation process too, or process, as we say in the States. They're safe, effective. All Arkworld products are regulated and approved by the governing bodies in each country that we're in. They've also been on television, or I should say the Pink Drink has. Pink Drink was on BBC television on a program called Inside Out. This little baby here was for a disease called CADASL. I won't go into it now. You can ask me later if you want. It's a debilitating disease. I mean, it's horrific what they go through. Very much in there. I don't want to sound unkind by saying this, but kind of in the ballpark of what you go through with Parkinson's. It's horrific. And the Pink Drink, or should I say the science behind it, because we're not allowed to make claims, the science concerning the gas molecule nitric oxide behind that Pink Drink, oh my. The results they were getting were unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it was on BBC television and they claimed it, so it was nothing to do with us. We've also been over a decade as a market leader. Don't forget that already. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. I don't know how many people around the world testimonials. And don't forget about the industry itself in general. We're in the fastest growing industry there is on this planet, the wellness industry. It's also the most profitable. So what do we take from number 1? Don't listen to opinions. Okay? Facts. Stick to facts. The truth shall make you free, saith the Lord. Number 2. We enjoying this? Okay, number 2. Mega dosage and labeling laws. Mega dosage and labeling laws. Just admit someone there. There we go. It's a live meeting. It's fun though, isn't it? Mega dosage. What in the world does that mean, by the way? Mega dosage and labeling laws. Mega dosage law means if there was too much of a certain ingredient in the products, they would not be allowed to be sold. They would not be approved. That's a fact legally. So don't listen to anything about it, and also the kind of ingredients too. Mega dosage law. Also, what does labeling law mean? Labeling law means if the products were not safe for a certain individual to use. I've had some of you say, what can you take this product if you're pregnant? Can you take this if, I don't know, you're on medication? You'll get that a lot. If the products were not safe for a certain individual to use, make a note of this. It's very important. It would have to say so on the label. It's a labeling law. You would not be allowed to market it. And if you did, you wouldn't last very long. Remember, Arkworld's built a foundation in business, been in business for years. We have the credibility at government level. Now, apart from government standard labeling laws, there are no other labeling laws on our products. In other words, no other warnings. We have the standard ones. You keep out of reach of children. That's law. You have to put that on every product, right? Especially nutrition because of iron. I just want to make this clear, though. Can children take the products? Absolutely. They just take them in smaller doses. You can talk to me privately about that. Little doses, right? When they're little teeny kids, a little dose. They get a bit taller, a little more of a dose. And as they get taller, more and so on, right? Until you get to the full dose. We're also thinking in the future, there's a whole, ship shape is only the beginning, God willing, by the way, Lord, of a load of different products. Not probably the expression you should use, is it? Block of sheep, a load of products. Right? But you get the point, right? For all the products coming out in the future, ship shape's just the beginning. You know, we also plan little Arkworld, right? Noah's Ark, the animals. We're planning little arginine and wonderful. I'm not giving out anything. No one could do it anyway out there because they wouldn't know how to get it absorbed in the system. So we have our way of doing it by God's grace. We're thinking of bringing out little sweeties for kids in the shape of animals, you know, but they're going to be healthy. So as you take them, you become bionic, right? A new idea of health product for kids that's fun and they enjoy. Good idea? There's a lot of things we can do with this company. Can kids take the products? Absolutely, they can. We've had people pregnant. We've had people having babies and then, you know, breastfeeding afterwards using the pink drink and micro and so on in abundance. A friend of mine, Amina, bless her, had her daughter, Zara, and she was taking the pink drink throughout the entire process, right? From getting pregnant to childbirth and breastfeeding. And Zara is fantastic. She's 7'3", by the way. But apart from that, there's no side effects at all. I'm just kidding. She's not 7'3", by the way. Well, listen, human growth hormone release. Okay, that's why I said that. She's healthy. It's fantastic for kids. I tell you, Amina had both her children on it. As well, because the nitric oxide actually acts as an energy leveler. So if you have children that are hyperactive, it's fantastic. Just another little tip for you. So the point is this: how many of these labeling laws and mega dosage laws? How many, you know, do we have in Arkworld? Are they parsed? Do we have many on there? No, you'll have keep out of reach of children, and you'll have, I think there is on there, if you're pregnant or lactating, consult your physician. All right, which is a standard labeling law anyway. Warning. And that's a good idea. If you have any concerns, consult your doctor. It's always wise to do so. I always recommend that, and we should do to be legal and squeaky clean with everybody. Okay. And Arkworld is, by the way, we always adhere to the governing bodies and what they tell us to do, as we should. And in respect to people, you know, if they want, you know, to ask a question or they're not sure, go to your doctor. All Arkworld products have been passed by both of these laws. They are safe for anyone to use. Otherwise, it would have to say so on the label. Okay? You've got to be strong. Remember opinions? This is one you're going to need to be strong on. Is that ingredient awesome? Yes. Is it safe? Yes. What about that ingredient? Safe and effective? Yes. You've got to be strong. I'm never put off by anyone that says anything because I know the science behind it. And believe me, this is an exact science. Formulation is not a load of ingredients on a label. Otherwise, we could all make the pink drink. And we've had people try and steal the product. We've had people try and steal the company. We've had people try and reverse engineer the pink drink. They can't. Doesn't work that way. There's an exact science to this, how it's formulated, the timing mechanism of each individual ingredient. It's clever. Right? And I can't take any credit for it. Glory to God. Okay, number 3. What the body needs. Here's the third one. By the way, I should tell you, little hands up. Who knows the most famous labeling law in the world? Do you know what it is? It's on cigarettes. On cigarettes, it says, if you take this product, it will kill you. Right? Imagine if we got together, right? You're watching this on YouTube, you come around my house, right? We get together and think, I've got a great idea for a product, Mark. I say, give it to me, give it to me. You say, we're going to invent this, get these twigs, chop them up and put them into this little bit of paper. We're going to sell them, right? I said, unbelievable. And people are going to love it. And it's great. And the whole world's going to be doing it. It'll spread like crazy. And what's more, you get addicted. So you get repeat customers. Wow. I said, wow, that's phenomenal. I said, and on the front of the packet, we're going to put, if you take this product, it'll kill you. I would think you were insane, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? That's exactly what happens. Unbelievable. Still goes on, right? Anyway, most famous labeling law there is, what the body needs. And you guys probably know most of these anyway. Vitamins, minerals, make a note, protein, amino acids, carbohydrates, fatty acids, trace elements, fiber. Am I going too quick for you? Vitamins, minerals, protein, amino acids, carbohydrates, fatty acids, trace elements, fiber, water, and air. You're not going to get very far without air. Now, there are over 40 essential nutrients needed every single day, believe it or not, to obtain optimum health. 40 essential nutrients every day, and we don't get nowhere near that amount usually. We wonder why we get problems. That's why our products are so important, including the ship, shape, shake. Unbelievable. And that's why there's a lot of nutrition. And it was the first arginine product to be nutritional in the world, because I understood the value of nutrition and why micro is arguably the most important product in Arkworld, bar none. And we'll come to that in a moment, because of nutrition, healing the body at a cellular level. 70% of deaths, and I think this figure is probably higher. I think me and David talked about this. 70% of deaths are a result of heart disease, strokes, and cancer. That means if there's 3 of you together, it's going to affect 2 of you. Think of it that way. It's horrific. It's probably higher than that now. These numbers were given a few years ago. 50% of those deaths are diet related. Again, that's gone up. Food is poorer today than it was, not better. It's full of junk, a lot of it. Fast food is a typical example. Processed, as they say in the States, food, you know, all these things. My goodness. So bad for you. 70% of doctors' visits, here's a good one for you, are due to poor nutrition. That's basically, you know, 2 out of every 3, if you want to look at it that way. 100%, right? People that go to the doctors, 70%. You see, here's the point. You can't fight viruses and colds and flus if you've got a weak immune system, right? And we just don't get enough of the 3 main immune functioning vitamins, or vitamins, as I say, are A, C, and D. And you just don't get enough in your diet. You don't. In the food. You know, I spoke to Dr. Harry Elwart, good friend of mine who helped me in the beginning with Arkworld, an arginine expert. And he said to me, you know, in Florida, you know, you've got to eat something like half a dozen oranges now to get the same vitamin C as you did in 1 orange, something like 10, 20, 30 years ago, something like that. He said, you know, the way they're grown, it's staggering what you get. And here's another staggering fact. A lack of energy is the first sign of a lack of nutrition. You want to really take this on board. A lack of energy is the first sign of a lack of nutrition at a cellular level. And the #1 health complaint in the world today is a lack of energy. It's where your cells are being depleted. Okay, let's get into number 4. I'm sure the part you're really looking forward to. Let's talk about the products. Elaine's excited, I can tell. Okay, we're doing well. I think we're doing well. The products. Now, we have a commitment, if you want to put this in your notes, to product excellence at Arkworld. Commitment to product excellence. And here's some facts I want to give you regarding the products. All our products, we've already spoke about it. They are FDA approved and regulated, or rather the lab's state-of-the-art facility. By the way, don't ever make too much of a product being FDA approved. That's not the issue. It's the labs. It's where they're designed. You want to. That's where you want it certified, approved, and regulated, because they come around that you have to be at such a high standard, if you have the FDA support. Okay, and Arkworld does have that. In fact, our products are pharmaceutically, here's the next one, FDA, number 2, pharmaceutically graded. What does that mean? They're graded to the highest standards possible. You see, I don't know if you're aware of this, but a lot of nutraceutical products and so on, they don't have to be that accurate on the label with their ingredients. To be pharmaceutically graded, they treat the product as if it's a drug, even when it isn't. So every ingredient has to be bang on accurate, or as close as you can get to it, to be sold. These products are formulated, designed, and made and approved at that level, pharmaceutical grade. That's drug grade, even though they're not drugs. All our products come with a CGMP stamp of approval. What does that mean? Current Good Manufacturing Practices. CGMP. They're approved by certain other governing bodies too. We have informed choice. The labs and manufacturing with Dr. Jeff, are approved by Informed Choice and Informed Sport. If you're in sports, athletics, bodybuilding, you'll know those governing bodies. It's a big deal to have Informed Sport, Informed Choice behind you. Plus, every batch of pink drinks, when we brought in and we helped Premiership football teams and so on, through my friend Ian, we had them WADA approved, which stands for World Athletic Drug Association. WADA. Arkworld's medical board works under the guidance of Chief Executive Scientist, Dr. Jeff Galini, PhD, brother in the Lord. Right? No one else in America could formulate it, remember? Prayer got the job done. Arkworld leads the way with patented scientific discoveries, pioneering inventions, and we really do. We're working on stuff now. Well, I'm not, but it's been going on, to actually thinking of the next 5-10 years. The ship shape shake has taken an age. We'll come back to that later. 12 years in the making. Unbelievable amount of work. We use, as I've already told you, the finest ingredients, and they cost more to make. Now, I can't prove this to you, you're just going to have to trust me on it, but most manufacturers spend very little on health products. That's a fact. Ours cost a fortune, and I'm not kidding you. I told somebody once who wanted to buy Arkworld, and I said, there's no way, of course, I would never sell it. It belongs to the Lord. But they tried to get me with money, something like 10 million, 20 million, I forget what it was. And I'd only been going about a year. So that would have been a good payday, right? So I said, you could offer me $1 billion. It was not going to happen. They asked me what I was paying in manufacturing because they want to get, and I told them, and they said, that's stupid. That's insane. How do you make any money? I said, now you're getting it. It's about helping others and giving the money back to distributors. I'm not interested in Arkworld making money. I'm interested in you making money. I'm interested in people getting healthy first. Be a blessing to others. What are we going to do? We'll put it into helping others, right? We tithe and everything else, but we're there to help. We're there to serve. Does that make sense? Right? Belongs to God anyway. Everything does. Everything. Arkworld manufacturing, we already said, is in the top 1% in America. Let's talk about the pink drink. Oh, I've been looking forward to this. My goodness. The pink drink. Here it is, this baby. It's beautiful. Look at that label, pink and purple. Hands up, anyone likes the color of the labels? Come on, there must be one of you. Yeah. Instead of boring. What is it with people and health products? So you put your hand up, Andrew. It didn't escape there. What is it with people with health products? Though seriously, you go and buy, especially gym products. You ever seen gym products? Black and red, right? Or some guy throwing a javelin who looks like, you know, you'd like to look like, but you're never going to look like. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, God, they're always the same. These are beautiful, I think. Beautiful labels. The pink drink, let's talk about it. You might want to make a note of this. This is massive. The only pre-digested nutritional arginine product, I'll say that again, the only pre-digested nutritional arginine product in the world that through an exclusive delivery system, make a note, called stomach dumping, and I'll tell you what that is in a second, converts to nitric oxide and enters the vascular system to be used by the body in 20 minutes. Basically, it's the only product of its kind that's absorbed and used by the body in 20 minutes after you drink it. Isn't that awesome? Now, why? Of course, by the grace of God, but what did he give us? I'll tell you. You see, no one else could do this. No other arginine product can get into the vascular system that quickly. And I've got a little list of things I want to share with you in a moment. First, let me tell you this. I was going to say 10 years ahead of the competition, but they're not even, honestly, there's no one out there been able to do this yet at all. That's all I can tell you. Taken from Nobel Prize winning science. Now, if you didn't know, I'll tell you give you a minute on the science, okay? If you had not heard of this before. The nitric oxide, they call it the miracle molecule. It was actually over 20 years ago now. It's been an amazing breakthrough in the health industry, staggering. And it was Dr. John Cook that discovered that arginine, an amino acid, which you get in, if you're wondering where you get it from, arginine comes from foods like meat, shellfish, soya, and so on. They discovered, or Dr. John Cook discovered, that arginine converts to a gas molecule called nitric oxide in the blood system. I'll tell you why that's important in a minute. This process, as you say in the UK, is called ADNO, arginine-derived nitric oxide. Now, in 1998, the discoveries concerning nitric oxide won a Nobel Prize in medicine. We don't have to make claims on the pink drink. There's enough claims out there and the science behind it, including a book called The Arginine Solution. It's a fantastic book. You can find it online, I'm sure. There are in other books too. Say No to Heart Disease, The Cardiovascular Cure, written by Dr. John Cook. That was an astounding book. This was a big deal, is what I'm trying to tell you. And the extensive benefits, health benefits from taking 6 grams of arginine a day on a daily basis, including its role with circulation and heart disease. That's 6 grams of arginine a day, funny enough, which you get in 2 pink drinks a day, okay? Now, I'm going to give you a little list, but there's more to it than this. In fact, where's my fact file gone? These are fabulous. If you're a distributor, you'll have a back office. Or if you're not a distributor, become one, and you'll get a back office. And it's free to join, too. And in your back office, in tools, tips, training, you get these gorgeous little things. I know you can't see that properly, but it's called Arkworld the Pink Drink, and these are fact files. We have them on each product in the company. They're fabulous because you have some bullet points here, or strap lines, as they call it in advertising, where you got the main points at the top. Then over here, right, you got a splash of science. Cool, isn't it? Little splash of science. We can all learn, get better. We need to change and grow, right? Little splash. And then down here, you have a fact file of 10 points about the pink drink. And it tells you all the benefits of the science, nitric oxide, not the pink drink, what an ADNO can do for you. Fantastic. And they're on each, we have these on each product. They're in your back office, fact files. I love them. Put that aside for a moment. Wish I put that over here. There we go. I'll give you a few, right? So, I mean, you guys probably know this, most of you. nitric oxide or arginine-derived nitric oxide has been reported to help with heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, injury, cardiovascular problems, long-term memory, energy, erectile dysfunction, requires blood flow, many other circulatory and cardiovascular problems. The list is endless. Increases human growth hormone. You know, we have athletes using this. You're going to hear me say in a minute that the pink drink was voted in America the best pre-workout product in the United States of America. That's the pink drink. It was, I'll come back to that in a second. It was actually studied. Nothing to do with us. Energy, endurance, recuperation after exercise. The list goes on and on and on. Brain function, you know, memory, which affects a lot of different things like MS, Parkinson's, and so on. I'll tell you, I'd be here all night telling you the benefits of AD&O. It's staggering. And that was their claims, not ours, that the arginine solution has all this in it. Did you know, and here's a fact for you, heart disease kills 2,000 a day in the United States of America. That is the equivalent of a World Trade Center disaster every single day. And the government spend more money on terrorism than they do on heart disease. And it happens every single day in the United States of America. Staggering. Now, let's give you a few more facts about the pink drink. Love this product. Oh my goodness. Everybody, most of you guys, I know some of you might be customers and so on, or guests, but most of you guys using the pink drink? Yeah, see hands. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what to do without it. Thank the Lord for the pink drink. It's three main functions. You want to know what arginine-derived nitric oxide and molecule, the gas molecule nitric oxide does? It's three functions, okay? One, increases blood flow. That's its main job. It's a vasodilator. I know that's a big word, right? So early in the evening, but it's a vasodilator. It means it helps blood to flow smoothly, as it should do, through the arteries, keeps your lining of the artery like a Teflon-like texture, beautiful, new and clean, like having a brand new hose pipe, you know, that's not clogged with dirt, right? It keeps your arteries smooth and blood flowing. Vasodilator. Blood increases blood flow, number one. Number two, it increases oxygen. And number three, it increases healing. So oxygen in the blood. Vital for every, imagine that, for every single organ in your body. Now, you could say, okay, so why don't we just eat it, right? We can eat more nitric oxide, eat more arginine. Yeah, you could, but you need 12 steaks a day. And there's a lot of junk and cholesterol and fat that you'd also get with those steaks, right? So no, you can't eat that amount. Not to reverse AD&O, not the pink drink, the effects of heart disease, you need to, that's a lot of arginine, 6 grams. Buy another arginine product, you cry. Well, yeah, but that may not work either, right? Most are poorly formulated, and most of them you don't absorb. Now, here's something I want you to make a note of. It's a lot to take in this, but it's important. You only have 45 minutes for nitric oxide to work at its optimum level in your blood system. That's it. To be absorbed. The problem with most arginine products is they're not absorbed quickly enough. So you lose the value, and you only get a small percentage. That's the key. That's one of the little inside keys to why we do it in 20 minutes and you get such an unbelievable result. And we have a timing mechanism on it. Dr. Roderick Lane, Jules, noticed this, if you remember, when he said, you have a release on this, don't you? And I said, yes, because he's a very clever man. We do. It releases over 8 hours. So you get the benefits continuing over 8 hours. We'll come to how to take the products in a moment after we've talked about them. There's 60,000 or 60 to, do you want to know what a miracle body we have? It's incredible creation. Wow. Glory to God. There's 60 to 70,000 miles of vascular system in one human being. 60 to 70,000 miles. If I took your vascular system and spread it around the world, it would go around the world 2.5 times. Just you. Blood's got to flow through all of it. And nitric oxide affects all of it. It's incredible. Every bodily function involves nitric oxide. I do that, couldn't do it without nitric oxide. Increases blood flow. Wouldn't have blood flow without it. Like I said before, I've mentioned it again. It was voted the best pre-workout product in America. There's no pump like it when you're on the pink drink. And we'll talk about that when I talk about how to take it for athletes. But pre-workout, whoa. And I know that from my own experience. And it was researched, and this is what I wanted to mention, and medically and clinically proven to produce 20% more oxygen in the blood system than any other similar product on the market. It was tested and reported in Science Daily magazine against all other arginine products, and we came out on top. And as I said earlier, it's also been seen on television. Cool, huh? I would normally, if this was an open training in a hotel, say any questions, but listen, if you've got questions on the pink drink, write them down. If you're watching this on YouTube, be happy to help you. The company help you, your sponsor, your upline, we're all there to help you and take your questions, because often you get questions. I call it the bionic tonic. It's unbelievable, and everybody should be on this. I'm not kidding you either. I'm not joking. This is a phenomenal, phenomenal product. Forget MLM, forget sales. This is something else. You've got to be on it. And have everyone you care about and love on it, and everyone you don't even know on it, everyone you meet. R2 micro, let's talk about that for a little bit. Okay? Micro, why is this so important? I said earlier, it's arguably the most important product in Arkworld. Why? And I never sell a pink drink, by the way, without it, ever. I always sell a micro with it. It's like a suit. You just put the jacket on, you look a bit stupid, right? You need trousers, right? So the micro goes with it. That's how I always look at it. Why do I say that? Because most people you meet will have a terrible absorption rate. Sorry, but it's true. Most people are not getting the right nutrition. And at a cellular level, they're depleted of nutrients. Let me just read a couple of things to you that are important. It's a magical product, and it aids with cellular healing and repair. It increases your absorption rate. To deliver, and that's massively important, you get that down. To deliver nutrition at a cellular level through the villi in your intestines. Therefore, there's an exclusive hidden delivery system. I call this the delivery agent. I think I saw, I might be wrong, Elaine say something, how does this compare to another multivitamin and mineral, if I remember. Yeah, see, I paid attention. I can't remember the other question, sorry. But I know you asked that one. I tell you how this compares with other multivitamin mineral products. This isn't a multivitamin mineral product. That's how it compares. You can't compare this to multivit. This is much more than that. This is a delivery agent. This actually feeds your cells and works on the villi in your intestines. And I'll tell you about that in a second. It's about micronutrition. That's why it's called micro. That's what it stands for. Not only vitamins and minerals, as Elaine rightly noticed, right? And anyone would, of course, because it does look like a multivit mineral, I'll be honest. But it has a highly absorbable coenzyme Q10 in it, a phenomenal heart-healthy enzyme. Now, I put one of these aside. I'm not going to read it to you now. You can look these up yourself. There's these beautiful cards, so you can see that. Look at that with micro on it that the company provide. They're gorgeous. You can have your own made. And on the back of it, you've got all these little things, right? And it tells you on here, CoQ10. I mean, CoQ10 is a phenomenal enzyme. I mean, unbelievable. Kidneys, pancreas, functionality, the heart, the liver, heart disease, periodontal disease, reduced premature aging. The list goes on, even gum disease, you know, all tissues and organs, much, much more. But here's how I describe CoQ10, if you want my little version of it. Dr. Harry taught me this. He said, if you can imagine delivering nutrition to feed the cells in a truck, a little dumper truck, and it drives the nutrition to the cells, and then what it's meant to do is offload the nutrition and then pick up the toxins and drive those toxins out of your body. Coenzyme Q10 is the fuel that drives the truck. That's the gas or petrol that you put in. In other words, you increase your level of CoQ10, you'll increase your body's ability to not only feed the cells, but detoxify the cells. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. I mean, micronutrition really stands for the elements that make up nutrition, such as vitamins and minerals or vitamins and minerals, combined with botanical factors that are formulated in such a way, by the way, it's not just about ingredients, it's how you formulate it, that it increases your absorption rate of the body, your body's bioavailability. That's what that means, how you absorb food. It's about cellular healing and repair. I'll tell you about the villi in case you don't know. I'll tell you briefly. In your intestines, you have billions of microscopic hair-like protrusions. They're like this, right? Someone wave their hand to me. Come on, let me see at least what the exact height, guys. Okay, there's your villi functioning, grabbing the food as you eat, right? Yummy, yummy in my tummy. There's grabbing all the food. Now, villi are there to absorb food, right? They're there to feed the cells, actually. But most diseases are caused at a cellular level. So it's important to feed the cells and create the right environment. Now, through smoking, this is unfortunately, but through smoking, drinking, bad eating habits, food, more importantly than anything, even smog, car fumes, and all these kinds of things in the environment, you know, they impair your villi. Instead of looking like this, they end up getting covered in a mucus and looking like that. If you make a fist, you'll see what I mean. They don't function properly. Micronutrition creates the right environment to get the villi functioning and growing properly, working again, basically. Now the body can start the underlying healing process, you know, and repair at a cellular level. That's how the body works. Detoxing and strengthening the immune system. Do you think that would have been important a few years ago? Yeah, the viruses came out. Exactly. You want to have a strong immune system. You become stronger then to fight against disease. Simple as that. Micro, what a staggering product. Underrated, actually, but it's arguably the most important product in Arkworld. Let's move on. Questions we can take later, or you can, as I said, ask your sponsor or the company. We'll be there to help you. Let's talk about the purple pill. Just you guys watching this live, you enjoying this so far? Cool, right? Okay, easy training. Any of you guys can learn this, I promise you. You just follow notes. Purple pill, and I mean that, by the way, it just takes time. The purple pill, or XL, as it's also called. What an awesome product. What an awesome. Now this, right, let's compare this to it. We can't compare the pink drink. We've discussed why. You can compare micro. We've discussed why. Can you compare purple pill? No, but not just because there are other products and this is the best. The reason you can't compare the purple pill is because there's no product in the world like it. So much so that the FDA gave this a drug code. It's not a drug, by the way, but they gave us a code for it. Right? Nice of them, wasn't it? Because they couldn't compare it to anything out there. And that's what they do. We were the first. It has 2 double patents on it. Again, I've got to come to one of these. These fact files are fantastic. There's a micro one. You got to look at these. If you haven't read one of these yet, oh, they're fantastic. I mean, there's the stuff on Arc 3 here. Knock your socks off on the purple pill. Let's talk about it a little bit. In one of the most powerful and researched products in the world, the purple pill. Now, it's also nicknamed the youth pill, okay? It's anti-aging. Has a patented ingredient or double patented ingredient that is a new discovery to the industry, not just a new product. It's a world first, basically. And it targets the 3 A's of healing. Write that down. This is the main function of the purple pill, or XL. It targets the 3 A's of healing. What are they? Anti-inflammatory, alkalizer, or anti-aging. That's anti-inflammatory, alkalizing, and anti-aging. Let's talk about them a second, okay? Because This is unlike any other product on the market. You can't find another product like the purple pill. Everyone should have one. Everyone should have, not only in their bathroom cabinet, but they should be on this product. It's phenomenal for anti-aging. Double patents, stands alone as an anti-aging product. There's nothing like this in alkalizing the body. And we'll talk about that because that's so important to fight against disease. Leads the way in the fight against inflammation. Anti-inflammatory. You can, and by the way, you can suffer with inflammation, with cancer, with heart disease, with many things. You can also go to the gym and immediately suffer with inflammation. This reduces inflammation. It's been clinically and medically proven to do that at a scientific level. As a science, rather, so I should say. It helps with pain and injury. We have a lot of people using this. We even have people give it to their, and this is the discovery, by the way, not the purple pill, the science behind it that has been clinically and medically proven. But people give it to dogs with arthritis. You wouldn't believe some of the stories. I'm serious. Dog kennels, you know, they've got all their dogs on it. Oh, pain, injury, and not just arthritis or osteoporosis or brittle bone disease, but you think of pain and injury, okay? It was reported, not my claim or Arkworld's, but reported that two purple pills is more powerful for the body as an anti-inflammatory than any aspirin or paracetamol. It's an amazing product. I use every single day. I would not have a day without it. You know, you can get toothache, this thing works. You know, it's a phenomenal product. That's anti-aging. Let's talk about alkalizing. I'm only briefly touching on these points. We can discuss them another time. It raises the pH by up to 2 points, okay? Having a balanced pH, and I'm going to read you something if I can find it, because I think this sums it up better than I can. Anti-aging, anti-inflammatory with alkalizing. The benefits of the purple pill with its ingredient, right? Alkalizing technology. Listen to this. Crucial to eliminating inflammation and putting your body in what we like to call the greenhouse effect. That's what the purple pill does. It puts your body in a state of ease, not disease. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. What a product. Number 3, and that raising the pH. Getting a balanced pH is so important to how you feel. You can be tough. Do you know one of the most alkalizing foods you can eat is a raw carrot? You know, you can raise your pH by eating a bunch of raw carrots, you know, and when you're tired, that usually means you're more acidic. You need to up that pH, get it more alkaline, and the purple pill will help you to do that. Number 3, anti-aging. Why? The purple pill, again, medically and clinically proven to regenerate and rejuvenate cells. It regenerates cell growth. If you want to read the science behind it, go to our website. It's phenomenal. Not our claim. That comes with the patented discoveries. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. Purple pill. Anyone use the purple pill? Exactly. Me too. What a product. Okay. Let's move on quickly to the last 2. The Ship Shape Shake. Super Ark Food, Ship Shape Shake, right? It was an advert once, wasn't it? The Ship Shape Shake. I forget what that was now. Oh no, it was about hoovering. Forget that one. Okay. Jules is laughing. Well, it was funny, right? It was fun. It was an advert for hoovering. We do the Ship Shape Shake. Anyway, Ship Shape Shake. There's one back there. Okay. We have a new formulation. It's going to knock your socks off. Right? I'm not kidding you. It's unbelievable. Now, what is it about the shape? Again, by the way, you can have, there are fact files on Ship Shape 2, Ship Shape Shake and Ship Shape Inferno. You need to go to your back office, okay? They're fantastic. Now, it's arguable, I say arguable because I have to legally say that, but I've never seen a meal replacement like this, to be honest with you. The healthiest, most effective, and scientifically advanced weight control meal replacement and protein shake that's ever been designed. Why? I need to explain to you and get this across. I'm probably going to do it poorly, but not only does this contain an array of nutrition that's, I mean, it's more than a meal in a glass. This is a phenomenal product, you know, from vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, things you need, antioxidants, very, very powerful, fiber, botanicals, exclusive fruit, vegetable, legume, bean, and probiotic blends that are exclusive to us. You know, it's revolutionary. But here's the big deal. This is not just another shake or meal replacement. It has a brand new protein in it. It's a new protein to the world with a higher efficiency rate than any other product of its kind, any other protein, I should say, of its kind. It's more than a meal in a glass. To give you an example of what I mean, if you took 20 grams of protein from any other, from this, it'd be like having 30 grams from another company because there's a higher efficiency rate. You can tell this has been a lifetime's work of a bodybuilder, because if there's one thing a lot of bodybuilders suffer with, it's kidney problems as a result of too much protein. You can use less protein and get better results. Plus, you'll feel very full. It's really a breakthrough. I'm not kidding you. This is a patented breakthrough in weight control. And it'll be not only a new meal replacement, but there's nothing that will compare to it globally. And like I said, created for athletes and bodybuilders too. Phenomenal product. Tastes yummy. We are, you know, it's absolutely awesome. You're going to love the ShipShape Shake. It's an incredible product. And by the way, I got to tell you, I didn't always look like this. Jeanette's laughing. I didn't know. I'm only kidding, Lord, right? Mustn't be too going vanity to get hold of me. I didn't always look like this. I mean, I lost 28 pounds, right? And 4 inches from my waist on ShipShape. Okay, I'm celebrating. You've got to celebrate. Thank you, Jules. Exactly. I mean, and by the way, it isn't the weight loss, right? It's how you feel about yourself. I mean, I felt 20 years younger. I thought it was normal to feel exhausted, right? You know what I mean? It creeps up on you if you're not careful, right? Too much sugar as a kid. Sorry, Lord. But, you know, we didn't have bottled water when I was a kid, right? My mum and dad used to say, don't go near the tap water. You don't know what's going to come out, right? Could be some lizard or something come out of the thing. So we lived on squash. I mean, how bad is that? It's amazing I got any teeth, right? So I had a lot of correcting to do. ShipShape actually helped me, and also with my digestive problems. Phenomenal, and the pink drink, by the way, and all the products, but it's another story. What a product! The shake, I'm a shake fan. If there's anyone, I just don't know how to live without these shakes. They're fantastic. And they taste better. And I'll tell you another thing. Mix this shake against other shakes, as I've done. And you watch which blends better. And that's because a lot of shakes are made poorly. They have poor mixability. They're formulated badly. They're sweetened wrongly. They often use artificial sweeteners. Most protein shakes have sucralose in them. They won't make it. It's too expensive to make it the way we do. Simple as that. I always say to people, listen, no hunger pains. I know it's corny, just good looking gains, right? That's what it is. It's phenomenal. Absolutely unbelievable. You can make recipes with this thing. You see me for recipes. I am the recipe of for people when it comes to making shakes. You can put the shake in milk. You can put it in half milk, half water. You can put the shake in yogurt, as they say in America. You know, you can put some fruit in a blender, put the shake in and make that baby, and it's all unbelievable. I mean, you have fun with it. Right? If you use yogurt, what's the, Jules, you know the one, live yogurt, isn't it? Buy a live yogurt, yeah, the good yogurt, right? Unbelievable product. Again, we can take questions. You can call the company. We'll be happy to talk to you about it. Let me move on while I only sip the pink drink. It's funny, actually, when people watch things on YouTube, what you don't realize, if you watch this in the winter, that is being recorded in about 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the summertime, right? I nearly lost my voice. Okay, let's talk about where is that baby go? Oh, here he is. The last product. By the way, this is only the beginning of products that will knock your socks off in the future, I promise you. ShipShape Inferno, the fat antagonizer. The fat antagonizer. No, that was not my name before I lost weight. right? The fat antagonist, ship shape, what a fat burner this is. Oh, let's talk about it for a moment. The most exciting, effective, scientifically advanced fat burning weight control product ever to be designed. Uses new groundbreaking science, and it does, and I'll tell you what it is in a second. It's innovative. It has a patented magical ingredient, or patented, as I think you say here. And this is what it does. It burns fat quickly in the body, hard condensed fat, breaks it down, and then disperses it into your system to be used as energy. I'm not kidding, by the way. It is a real breakthrough. In fact, it took 12 years. Both the shake and the fat burner have been worked on for a long time. Glass of water. It is a remarkable, remarkable product. Way ahead of its time. It also takes fat out of the liver and arteries. Brilliant for heart disease. A heart healthy pack could be maybe a pink drink. Micro, it gets someone to have a fat burner too. It's fantastic for getting fat out of your body. As I said, nicknamed the fat antagonizer. I love that phrase. Fantastic. Here's another one. It doesn't affect muscle tissue. A lot of fat burners on the market do, and bodybuilders stay away from them for that reason. This does not affect muscle tissue. You end up a leaner, fitter, and healthier you. It is a unique innovation and scientific breakthrough in weight control and burning fat. The fat antagonizer. As I like to say, don't get ripped off, get ripped up with the fat antagonizer. What a product. The stories sell it better than anything else. It was responsible for me losing my 4 inches around my waist. Powerful product. And the only one of its kind in the world today as a fat burner. Great for athletes, don't forget, and bodybuilders. Okay? And I should also mention when it comes to ship shape, you can also, don't forget, we also help people not with just weight loss, but people that want to gain weight, because we have people using 3 shakes a day and they have that shake after meals. It adds a lot of weight, but good quality nutritional weight, not junk, like eating crisps or something or potato chips, right? So you can, we have a weight gain program. We have a weight loss program and a weight maintenance program. You have three different programs. Take 2 shakes a day, 2 fat burners a day, right? And 1 meal. We'll come back to that again in a moment on how to take the products. I would normally say, I'm so tempted to say any questions. I'm so used to doing this in hotels in front of audiences, but it is phenomenal. What a product. So let's get to how to use the products. Number 5, how do we use these products? How are we doing for time? Okay, we're doing well. The pink drink, I can tell you what, we'll talk about the capsules first. And I appreciate, by the way, hang on in there, we're nearly done. All of these capsules, Purple Pill, Micro, Ship Shape Inferno, they're just 2 capsules a day, right? You can take 1 capsule in the morning, 1 later on in the day. Each product you take 2 a day. They let the 60 in there. They last a month. Can you overdose? Could you take more if you were coming down with a cold or something was trying to get you, right? Yeah, you can double up on the products. You won't get any side effects, right? Some mean, nasty bug, right? Trying to get you. I think something's tried to bite me, by the way. Anybody got sheep? No one's put their hand up, right? So do you ever wish you'd not said something on video? Well, hey, there you go. I got sheep. I got 12 pet sheep, and I think something bit me. And that's the point. You're so gorgeous and juicy and healthy when you're on Arkworld products. Nothing can resist you, right? So sometimes you need to double up when something comes along and gets you, like in the winter months. You can overdose on these products. I'm going to go through dietary body changes in a minute. I'll tell you what will happen. So you just take 2 capsules a day, every single day. You can take them together. You can take them with food or without food. Doesn't really matter, to be honest with you, as long as you take them every day. You know, there are ways if you had pain and injury, you might want to pop some extra purple pills. Jules, you do that, don't you? Exactly. Sometimes you work with me in an office, you need to take purple pills. I'm just kidding. The pink drink. Now, a couple of tips with the pink drink and taking it. You can, as long as you have 2 drinks a day, right, you're taking the recommended dose, 3 grams of arginine per drink. As I've done here, I've been talking so much, I've hardly drunk any, but hang on. You'll see here, just have a glass like that, a pink drink. Mine's a double scooper, right? You've got to be on 18 to be able to take one of these babies. Look at that, right? That's really pink. So double scooper. If you think, you know, you need an extra boost, like tonight, you have a double scoop. Yeah. It's unbelievable. But you only, as I said, normal dose, 1 scoop will do it. In fact, it's 3/4 of a scoop. Now, someone asked me, why, Mark, is it 3/4 of a scoop? I'll tell you why. Because no one has 600 grams of pink drink or powder in a arginine pot. It's bigger than everyone else's. Most are 550 or 500. And so the scoop size to be able to cope with this has never been invented. We would have to make up one. You can actually have them custom made, right? Most companies are selling less now. Have you noticed that? 150 grams. And you have to buy 4 pots of them, and it costs you about 200 pounds, right? This is unbelievable value. Unbelievable. I'm not kidding you. It's so underpriced. I'm not just saying that. If you knew the manufacturing, what goes into this product, I'll tell you now, Arkworld's been spending up to 50% in manufacturing when other companies spend 10 to 20%. Right? We're getting that corrected with price increases, but only small ones. So we spend a lot to give the best value product we can for the best value. That makes sense. We possibly can. 2 of these a day, 3/4 of a scoop. You can take them, usually most people I think have morning. When you say that's fair, morning and evening or afternoon or evening, think so. Yeah. I'll give you another tip. If you want more human growth hormone and to get younger and younger, right? Take one before you go to bed at night. Because you release more human growth hormone while you're sleeping. It's like when your mum and dad, you know, said when you're a kid, you know, go to bed early and you'll grow up tall, right? I wasn't always obeying. I wasn't obedient to that, but you release more human growth hormone while you're asleep. And also before working out. You want to take, if you work out, any of you do any exercise, 45 minutes before you work out. An hour is fine too, but about 45 minutes, take a pink drink or a double one, because I promise you the results will be nothing short of unbelievable. And if you keep doing that every week, wow, what a pre-workout product. It increases blood flow so much, the difference is staggering. I've had bodybuilders like can't live without it. Athletes, the recuperation too, and the less pain after the exercise. What an exercise product. Not just for, unhealthy, but also that have health issues, but for people that work out and play sports and so on. The shake, I did say, I'd mention it again. You can take in various ways. 2 shakes a day for weight loss, it will be 2-2-1, which stands for 2 shakes a day, 2 Ship-Shape Inferno fat burners, capsules, and 1 meal. That is Ship-Shape weight control diet plan, right? Try saying that 5 times faster, but you can't. That's hard to say. Okay, 2-2-1. 2 shakes, 2 Inferno, 1 meal. If it's weight gain, you want to be on 3 shakes a day, 2 Inferno. We don't want to get fat when we gain weight. That's important. And 3 meals. Basically, you have your shake after the meal. So if someone wants to gain, they struggle gaining weight, you add one of these shakes after each meal, not before, they'll gain weight. And they'll get good quality weight with good nutrition. Because people that try and gain, by the way, that's hard. You might find it hard to believe, but to someone that wants to gain weight, they can. It's so difficult for them. They need more calories, but what calories are you going to get, right? You want good nutrition. It's hard. But this is for weight gain. We've had a lot of success with that too. We tested it for weight gain. Weight control, of course, which is what I'm kind of doing, is 1 shake a day, 2 Inferno, and 2 meals. To tell you the truth, if I've got to be honest, thank you, Lord, I never really was a 3 meal a day person anyway. I'm a nibbler, which is sometimes worse if you gain weight, right? Nibbling this, that, and the other. Keep it fun, simple, and magical. Yes, Jules. Who can use these products? Who remembers what I said earlier? Who can use them? Anyone, anybody. They're safe and effective, I promise you. Okay? Okay. Let's do number 6. We're nearly done. You've been so incredible. I'm so proud of you all. Right? This is you can see why, though. This is very important as a product training. There's a lot of information. You know, I've often done these in hotels. You know, you take half a day just going through the whole products with an audience. It's a lot of information, but you can condense into a few notes. You have 7 points, and you can teach your new distributor over a coffee, or even better, a pink drink. So let's talk about number 6, dietary body changes. Just 2 to go. Elaine, are we good? Exactly. Dietary body changes. There's 3 of them. Number 1, change of diet. This is important. You might not think so, but it is. I'll tell you why in a moment. Because someone gets on the products, they're a customer of yours, say, or for the very first time, and they think, I'm going to go on a health thing, right? You know, I'm going to start jogging, quit smoking, and I'm going to add wholemeal bread and a bowl of muesli to my diet every day, the best kind, of course, increase my fiber, and start on Arkworld products. You go, fantastic, exciting, right? And they start on the products. The next day they call you and they say, I can't believe it, right? I got to be careful how I say this because I usually say a few jokes here, but it doesn't work on radio, you know, or on YouTube. You have to have a live audience for this. So I'll just say they end up with diarrhea. Jill's laughing. Okay. Now, guess what they blame? The products. It isn't the products. It's because they're taking in more fiber with the wholemeal bread and the muesli. If you add fiber, you get diarrhea. If you decrease it, you get constipation. I don't make the rules, right? That's what happens. It may normalize, but whenever you get a change of diet, it's always in the first day or 2, isn't it? You change something in your routine, and guess what happens? You end up in the bathroom, to put it politely. There are other ways of explaining it, and I'm sure you'll appreciate that I didn't use those other ways. So watch out for change of diet. And I'm going to talk about follow-up in a minute, something some people do terribly. It's important to find out if anyone gets a reaction, have you changed your diet? Go through what they're eating, because I guarantee you, more likely it's change of diet. It's happened to me myself. Let's look at the second one. These are dietary body changes. First one's change of diet. The second one is, you'll all know this, it's called detoxing. Arkworld products are powerful. They're the most powerful products of their kind. When using the products for the first time, some people, you know what happens? I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine, Ron Wilhite, I think Jules told this story in the testimonial video, I'm not sure. Ron was one of my first magnificent star champion distributors. I recruited him. I met him at a meeting in Houston in Texas. He was on 11 kinds of medication and so unwell. He was very overweight. He had diabetes, asthma, heart disease, gout. He walked with a cane. Jules, you remember this story? It was a miracle he got to the meeting. And I had about 40 people, Arkworld meeting in Houston, Texas, that my pastor, who had left England, gone to Texas, they were all wonderful, my brothers and sisters, and we had this wonderful meeting, and in walked Ron. And I felt so sorry for him. He could hardly sit in his chair, so about 300 pounds in weight, and really, honestly, an array of problems. Imagine being on 11 kinds of medication too. Anyway, we put him on the products, right? Pink drink and micro, that's all we had then. And the next day he was in agony. And I'm not kidding you. I'll speed it up to save time for you, but 3 weeks, this guy detoxed. He had pains in his legs, right? His skin, he started getting breakout in his skin. He started getting migraines or migraines. You know, he had a bad detoxing. Why do you think that was? It wasn't the product. It was, but it was an indirect result of the product, not a direct result. In other words, the product doesn't make you ill. It's impossible. It's because they're so powerful. It had an indirect result where he had 12 kinds of medication loading up his cells. So when he got on the products, those toxins had to go somewhere, right? Hence the pains in the legs, headaches, and everything else. So he suffered, and I kept on. I phoned him every day, for virtually every day, for 3 weeks. And if I hadn't, he wouldn't have carried on the products. Make a note of that. That's massively important. Jules, you're all right there. You seem to be struggling. Okay, massively. I think she's got camera issues. Blame the cameraman, Jules. That's what it is. Yeah, I mean, you know, detoxing's common. A lot of people are going to detox when you put them on Arkworld products. I promise you. Some don't notice. It'll be minor, so minor you won't notice, but a lot do. And that's good. Here's what you say when someone starts on the product and they detox or something. You say, great. It's a fantastic result. Awesome. That's exactly what we want, because you want the toxins out of the body. So if someone phones me and says, Mark, I can't believe what you've done to me. I've been on this 3 weeks. I feel so ill and I feel like I've got an hour to live and I hate you. I say, awesome. Great. That's a fantastic. I'm so pleased for you. Then they look at me as if I'm insane, but then I tell them about detoxing. You've got to get rid of the stuff out of your cells, and it will happen. And most of us store toxins. And most of us have never been on a product like this before, or products, I should say. Does that make sense to you? Check detoxing. Go back to your notes, right? Who can use these products? Anyone. The product isn't hurting you. It's the fact you're detoxing. Last one, number 3 on the dietary body changes, milk allergy. Milk allergy. 70% of people have a low tolerance to milk. They can't handle it. I'm not talking about milk in tea and coffee. There's a big difference between drinking milk and tea and coffee and drinking 1 or 2 glasses of milk itself a day in shakes. Big difference. Milk can cause you so many problems. Headaches, diarrhea, constipation, sickness, bad skin, so on. You can get really ill if you're not used to it. That's milk. So if someone gets on ship shape and they start getting some problems, check. It could be the milk, right? That makes sense? Milk allergy. If I go from no milk to milk, I get a reaction. I notice. I can tell. Even can affect my digestive system. Too much milk, clogging the system. One of the worst things you can drink, I used to be in the music business, singing, songwriting when I was younger, and one of the worst things you can do as a singer is drink lots of milk. Clogs your vocals. Remember, if anyone experiences any problems, right, check the dietary body changes, change your diet, could be detoxing, could be milk allergies. That makes sense to you? Because anyone can use these products. Or otherwise, guess where it would have to say, go back to labeling laws, it would have to tell you on the label, right? You can see why this training is designed this way, can't you? It gets you to go out with confidence, knowing all you got to do is tell testimonials, and any opinion, don't listen to. You got the strength and conviction now. Trust it, it works. Thanks to the grace of God. Number 7, the last one. Yay, we did it, guys. Unbelievable. The last one. And arguably right up there with opinions is the most important thing I'm going to say to you tonight. And then we're going to close it. And if any of you want to stay behind, we're going to take questions from you. I know it's late, but hey, it's summer. It's wonderful, isn't it, to be young? We're all young. Look at us. We're on the pink tree. We're getting younger. Number 7. Jill's smiling. Customer care. Customer care. Please write this down. Please. And this doesn't just apply to customers. This applies to distributors. Don't sell a product if you don't call them. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to love, help, support, encourage. You're there to, it's a service you're providing, not just a product. You want to help someone, right? And that goes for distributors too. When you get a distributor join the company, you recruit someone and they get on the product, you need to be calling them. You need to check they know how to use the product. Do you know how many phone calls we get at Arkworld from someone saying, I've just joined, how do we, Jules is laughing, how do we use these products? That's not our job, right? That's your job. That's my job as distributors, right? When you get a customer, we're responsible to help. We should be helping. But don't be just interested in the cash you make. I'm not blaming you guys, by the way, but it's a lesson to learn for all of us. Never just be interested in the cash you're making from the sale. It's about the help you give the person. Does that make sense? Yeah. Follow-up equals fortune. Write it down. Lack of follow-up equals poverty. You're rewarded for follow-up here. That's how you get referrals. You can get one customer, lead you to 5 others, give them a free pink drink or a gift or a prize or a discount off their next order. You could end up with your best distributor that way. Let your customers and distributors know. I include distributors, by the way, because listen, if you sign up a distributor and they use the products, they're a customer at a discount until they build a business. Think about it. You're still a customer, aren't you? Until you actually go out and sell and recruit. So think of your distributors. Have I worked with my distributors enough on how to use the products? Help them. Invest time in helping others. Be selfless with this. I followed people up, and this is my system. I used to get a little, I promise you don't have to do this, but I used to get a little index card box thing with 31 days to the month. And what I would do is I'd call someone when they got on the product day 1. And if it was, say, the 10th, I would put that card in the 10th, day 1, they're going to be on the product. And I'd call them and I'd make notes. And I'd find out how they're doing, how the diet, I'd check for dietary body changes. Have they changed their diet? Are they used to milk? Are they detoxing? That's how I used to do it. I always had. And then what I do is I call them day 1 and then I call them on day 3, 2 days later. So I take that little card on the 10th and I put it in the 12th, right? Which would be their 3rd day. Does that make sense? So when I get to the 12th, I've got all my cards lined up for all the follow-ups, right? And I write on the card, which day it is, day 1, day 3, so I know. So when I call it, get the little card, I pick them up, say, how you doing, Gene? How's it going, right? Hard to do that for me now because I had to stop being a distributor and run the company and be the president of the company. But as a distributor, that's what you need to be doing. Follow-up equals fortune. And don't just think in terms of money. I call people day 1, day 3, day 7. You don't have to do this. This was my routine. Day 7, day 15, about a week later, and then day 25. So I was at least 5 phone calls that month to my new customer. Distributors you want to work with more because you want to get them trained, to be honest with you. But with customers, was my routine. And then I'd call them every week in the 2nd month and at least twice a month after that. To some of you, this will sound a lot. I'd love to change your thinking, though. Oh, I could change your thinking with this. If I said to you, build a 50 customer base, a lot of you would go, 50 customers? That's a lot, Mark. Yeah, because that's the way MLM teaches you in the world today. I'm telling you, one of the worst things in the world for MLM has been YouTube and the internet. Now, you might think that's a weird thing to say, Mark, when you're on a YouTube video. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It's awesome. What I'm saying is you got to be careful with it because there are less people becoming multimillionaires in multi-level marketing today than there ever has in history. Why? Because people are looking for quick schemes to go on to make money for 3 months. And they want to sit at home and make it online. Now, some people can make it online, but most can't. Instagram's a perfect example. Just posting videos or pictures on Instagram won't make you money. I had a person that had 114,000 people on Twitter. He was 18. Jules, you remember him? Unbelievable, right? 140,000. Didn't have any money, but he had 114,000 people. Now, I'm not saying about making money. What I'm saying is service, helping others. The problem with internet, I've had a lot of people join, and I'm not saying it doesn't have its place, by the way. Don't misunderstand me. You should have a website. You should have the internet. You should be on YouTube. There should be gazillions of videos on YouTube. Don't misunderstand what I've said. What I'm saying is, but to just do that and ignore your next door neighbor who has heart disease, that's a mistake. To ignore the person you're sitting in the taxi or on a train and not putting this button on because your ego's too big and you don't want to make a hole in your suit, right? And the guy sitting next to you is going to ask you, right? And his wife's got high blood pressure and you're not talking to him because you only want to go online. Big mistake. This isn't about online. It's not about offline. To just be offline and not be online would also be a mistake. I'm not here to teach you business tonight, but I will share one thing that I've got to tell you. Only fools limit tools. Well, if you want to be successful, do it all. You should be exposing these products and this opportunity to everyone you meet, everyone online, everyone offline. Put a button on, run an ad, do flyers, whatever it takes, even if you don't like it. Do you think I liked everything I did? No, I'm not a social media fan, I'll be honest with you. Do I use it? Absolutely. Do you see what I mean? You do what you can, right? It's the service you give. You want to give a service and help others. A 50 customer base is nothing. It's not a lot of people if you build it up over time. Getting people to stay on the products, continue. A lot of them will become distributors, yes, true. But I promise you, it's not a lot. And what you want to see, look at it this way. You get someone on the products, they've probably got 3 or 4 friends that could do with these products too. Are you asking for referrals? Write that down. Ask for referrals. I mean, that's massively important. You know, at the end of the first month, if they're giving you 5, 6, 7 referrals, say to them, listen, do you want me to take the money from these sales, or do you want to make the money? You could become a distributor just like me. Some of your best customers have become your best distributors. Do you guys see what I'm saying about service, care, customer care? You need a good customer care support program to do Arkworld. Follow-up equals fortune. It's the one thing people do the worst, though. When you say, we've all done it, I'm no better than you. I'm just telling you what from experience, from what I've learned. You know, I tell you, imagine just 10 distributors with 50 customers. You'd be on a fortune. You want to teach your distributors to retail. It's a fabulous area of income, but you must follow the customers up. And please follow up your distributors too. Look at your back office, look in your downline, and work with those people. I don't care if they're 20 levels deep, right? You work with them to help the people at level 19, 18, and 17. You work with the person at 16 to help the people at 15, 14, and 13. Depth and width makes a great business, not just one. Width, depth, got to work deep. Help people, serve them. We're here. This is what I'm saying is a business of servitude. It's what you want. Hands up if any of you think recruiting 10 distributors is a lot a month. Okay? A lot of people don't recruit 10 distributors a month. It's not a lot. It is if you're not talking to people all day long. I had no choice when I started Arkworld, but I always made sure I'm probably not going to get this over to you as much as I understand it. Follow-up is so important, just like training people once a week, just like working. If you can't do that, then train them when you can. Call each other, working together. We all know the corny phrase, right? Teamwork makes the dream work, right? Exactly. You got to work together. Got to help people to grow. As Christians, we go to church, we read the Bible, we study it and everything. We want growth. You've got to be around it. You need to grow. Help your people, serve them. Recruiting 10 distributors is not a lot if you're talking to people all day long. If you're showing the videos and doing the presentations all day, it's not a lot. If you're not, it's tough. You'll probably never do it. Here's the point. People don't care about how much you know. until they know how much you care. Right? Care, customer support. Make sure you have a good customer support program. We're going to take questions in a moment, and I really thank you for your time. Before we finish, I want to make a couple of points in closing tonight. Build an organization of servitude. Okay, as I just said a moment ago, please pay attention to these last remarks. They're very important. I know we're tired. Build an organization of servitude. There's an old expression, care more for your customers' health than your own. Care more for your distributor's income than your own. That doesn't mean we don't care about our own health and income, obviously. You're meant to have a love and appreciation for ourselves. How can you love anyone else? The good Lord said, love your neighbor as thyself, right? You've got to start with loving you. That's not what it means. You know, what it's saying is don't be selfish with it. Help your customers to get the results they desire. Love, help, and support others with the products and opportunity. Help your distributors to get their income they desire. If you helped everyone to get to executive or everyone to get to net team and beyond, would you have to worry about your income? No, of course not. You'd get wealthy quick. I'm telling you, follow-up equals fortune, but most people don't do it enough. Don't forget, right? You're rewarded for helping others, customers and distributors. That is your job as a distributor, right? It's your job, not the company's. As distributors, you got to follow people up. See what they, write this down, see what they can become, not what they are. It's very important. Should have seen me when I was 18 years of age. My goodness me, you would not have recruited me. I mean, I went to my first meeting in a Panama hat, jeans, earrings. I look good though, I got to share that with you. And beads, I wore my best beads. I mean, nobody wanted to sit near me, right? And when I sat down, everybody left. You know, it was like, I actually knew Jules back then. There's a few people in the company that knew me when I was a teenager. Jules is one of them. I wish I hadn't told you that because now you're going to ask what I was like when I was a kid, which I was probably a horrible kid. But anyway, you wouldn't have, I tell you what you'd have done. You'd have prejudged me, right? You never said I'd been able to do this years later. Never. I couldn't public speak. I couldn't do meetings. Anyone, be honest. Any of you struggle with public speaking? Any of you? Be honest. Is there anyone that struggle? Few of you, okay. You know what happens? Your mouth gets stuck like that, right? And it's true. Come on, Bertha. I know you're hearing me, girl. I know you hear me. Your mouth goes like that, and your knees go jelly, and your hands perspire, and you can't think straight. You kind of you don't enjoy life, right? You're not joyous at all, like the Lord teaches. You just can't think. You don't know what's going to happen next. I tell you, that's where I was. How would you have possibly said I'd be able to do this years later? You want to think about change? Can you do this or not? Of course you can. Don't talk yourself out of it. Of course you can. Anybody can do it. Glory to God who made it all possible. Don't prejudge anyone. You know, these are arguably the best, most scientifically advanced and effective health products in the world. And as any good doctor will tell you, if you're making notes, it's the bioavailability of them, the absorption, in other words, that make them so effective and incredible. It's about micronutrition, which we discussed tonight, and these are my closing remarks. It's about healing the body at a cellular level. Cellular health is what we're talking about. Healing the micronutritional deficiencies at a cellular level. You know, Arkworld, along with when I think about it, along with our revolutionary marketing plan, and by the way, it is revolutionary. I urge you to check out the marketing plan videos. There's not just one. There's 2 or 3 of them on YouTube. Pays out more than anybody else. It's a revolution in marketing plans. And our ground floor timing I was talking about earlier, and the heart behind this. You know, the Arkworld products really form part of arguably the best business opportunity there is in the industry. Bar none. There's nothing better than this in multi-level marketing. Never forget, whether you're a believer or not, the truth remains the same, and this would not be possible without the Lord and his grace alone. Don't put your faith, as I said earlier, in the opinions of others. Stay in the truth, please. It'll save you a lot of time and heartache. The truth shall make you free, saith the Lord. Don't listen to opinions. It's the facts you should listen to. Don't let the opinions of others, and make a note of this, or the circumstances that surround you right now affect or determine your destination in life. What do I mean by that? I was broke with no experience and nothing much and pretty depressed. And it was a leaflet on a shop window when I was 18 that I came across that changed everything for me. And I was really suicidally depressed. And I had a very abusive childhood. And I didn't have any friends. And I was wandering around. And the good Lord saw fit to put that little leaflet there. If it wasn't for that, well, none of this would have been possible. Don't put your faith in opinions. It's the truth. And don't let your current circumstances affect your destination. This is, I didn't back then. I took a chance. I took some risks. You see, you're not responsible. Write this down. You're not responsible for what others think, say, and do. You're not responsible for that. You can't change what they're thinking. You don't even know what they're thinking. You're responsible for what you think, say, and do. Right? Just keep talking to people. That's all you do. You just keep talking regardless. It's what God thinks that matters, not what people think. Write this down. Sounds a bit mean, this. SW, SW, SW. Stands for some will, some won't, so what? Okay, Jeanette, what's going on? She knew that already. Unbelievable. Thought I was telling you some words of wisdom. See, Lord, told you I didn't know any. Listen, the same winds blow on us all, don't they? The same winds blow on us all, right? The winds of economy and change and heartache and pain and loss in the family and money struggles. You think I didn't have money struggles? My goodness. I slept in a car for 3 months. The same winds blow on us all. When I started Arkworld, I didn't have a penny, right? I think that's the problem sometimes. We have too much to succeed. You get too comfortable, right? It is. You got to, listen, don't put your life, your future in someone else's hands. Believe to receive. Stay on track, right? That's what you got to do no matter what. You're not paid to convince people. Write this down. You're not paid to convince people. Someone said to me, Mark, what do you do to convince people to buy these products? I don't. I just tell them about them. They either buy them or they don't. And the more people I talk to, the more I get. And I talk to lots. Because if I talk to some, I may get some results. If I talk to lots, I get a lot of results, and that's it. If they buy the products, great. If they don't, great. And I'll tell you another thing may surprise you. You know, you only make a living from selling. Did you know that? You get rich from rejection. Because you'll always find more people to say no than you ever will buy your product. No matter what product it is, you could have gold bars, you'll still get rejection. Right? That's people. You got to move on. Talk to the next person. Never get attached to the result. Write that in your notes. Never. Just keep talking regardless. And here's another point before we finish. Give this time. You're going to have to give this time. And I'm not just talking about this training class. Do you know how many training classes I've sat in? My goodness. And by the way, you don't have to. I'm just saying you're going to have to give this time. Olympic athletes work for 4 years. The Olympics is coming up next week. They've been training for 4 years. They weren't eating Christmas dinner. They were out on the river rowing. Right? That's why they win. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying the more you put in, the more you get out. It's the same rule for all of us. I paid a price for this. There were times I didn't know how to get through the next day. I promise you. But you can with a little faith. You keep going. You know, you keep going. You've got to give this a 2 to 5 year plan. Elaine, Mary, and all of you. pay attention. This ain't a 3-month deal. If it's a 3-month deal, I can save you the time now and say, I wish you well. It won't work. 3 months ain't going to get it done. I recruited 30 in my first month, but I kept going. 2nd month, 3rd month, 4th month, 5th month, 6th month. Who's going to be in it at Christmas recruiting the same number then as they were today? That's what I want to know. That's a test of leadership. Because you know what that shows? It shows that you have a system. Because it's, write this down. It's not in my notes, but I've got to share this with you. It's your system that propels you forward, not you. And we can talk about that in business training another time. It's a little tip for you. Use, talk, teach. Keep it simple. It's a 2 to 5 year plan. Get serious, be consistent. When Jesus walked on water, my brothers and sisters will know the story. Peter asked the Lord if he could do it too. Ah, bless him. So Jesus said, yes, come and join me. So Peter did, got out of the boat. I mean, imagine that. You got to imagine that whether you believe in the Lord or not, go with me, okay? Gets out of the boat, walks on the water. But then he got out halfway across, I guess, and then he realized the circumstances that surrounded him. He was on water, right? So he realized what he was doing. So guess what happened? He sank. That's what happened. Fear stepped in, right? Fear's not from God, right? It's from the enemy. Fear comes along, so he sinks. Jesus comes along and rescues him, pulls him out. Here's the point, and I know it's a corny way of telling you this, but there's a point to it. You've got to have some faith here. Don't fear this. Don't fear anything. I got on my wall here in the office, or this is one of the Arkworld offices where I do videos from. With God, all things are possible. You need to have some faith. You do. You see, but here's the thing about Peter. You got to get out of the boat, right? That's the point. You ain't safety and security, all dry and cozy and cutesy wootsy is not going to get the job done. It isn't. That's no way to live. Who wants to do that for 40, 50 years? Stick them in the corner with bread and water and a rusk, or I don't know, some cutesy food. We'll look after you and pat you on the head every now and again. See if you're all right. That's no, you say, yeah, but Mark, what a way to live. You're absolutely, what a way to live, right? If you want to take some risks, you're going to have to take some risks. People want deep water results with shallow water effort. You got to get in the deep water where you don't know what you're doing. Do you know what someone once said to me? Mark, you're out of your depth. I said, hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. That's where you win. It's the opposite of what the world teaches you. Get out of your depth. That's where change is possible. That's where you need help, and that's where you have faith. Not when things are easy peasy. Anyone can wallow in shallow water and play with a bucket and spade. That doesn't take much effort or faith, does it? Go for it, guys. And also keep your word. Be reliable. And that comes to follow up too. Help people at all times. Let people know you're someone they can count on. I mean that sincerely, whether you do Arkworld or not. If I never see you again, if you decide to join, I don't know, some other world, right? I sincerely mean it in the name of the Lord. Help, love, care. Let people know you can be there for them and help them. This is all of us need to do this, not just you, me too, all of us, right? Encourage them always. Knowing about the products is one thing. Having this product training is one thing. Helping others is another. Lastly, tonight, use Arkworld's support system. There are many tools, tips, training, back office, your sponsor, the company, help each other, stay connected. Don't do it all on your own. You're not alone. We're all in the same boat. Forgive the pun. But we are. Use the business opportunity meeting. It's 29 minutes long. Get a gathering in your home. Flick on the video. Say, watch this. Come see my brother, right? This is unbelievable. You got to get on this. Use them. There's great meetings on YouTube. Product training, this product training. Use this, right? I promise you, you go to any company, any event, any product training, and I'm not blowing my own trumpet. The Lord knows I'm not. You won't get a better product training. use this product training to help your team. Business trainings, learn them. You're going to have to give them time. I've watched video. David, where's DB? DB sent me something in Jim Rowan. It was about 6 hours long. I've sat in meetings for days, right? Days. You got to put the work in. That's how this works. Depends what you want to get out, to be honest. But there's a great support system in Arkworld. How to build a distributorship. They're fantastic. There's also great product videos on YouTube. Check out the product videos. They're awesome. They help you sell the product. The Arkworld marketing plan. If you haven't looked yet, learn it. You already have a system. I heard someone the other day say, Mark, we need a system. You got a system. It's called use the products, talk to people, and teach other people to do the same. The problem you may have is the talking to people part. You've got to consistently do presentations daily. Use every tool possible. When you go to bed at night, how many people have I seriously spoken to about these products and seriously spoken to about this business when I go to sleep at night? Have I done my best? Do your best and let God do the rest. Right? That's what you should do. There's already a system. If you've just joined the company and you listen to me for the very first time, I wish you, I do sincerely with all my heart, wish you every success with your Arkworld business. And I look forward to working with you guys and all of you watching this live tonight. I do generally, and DB and Jules will tell you that. I love this, and I love this journey we're on together. It's an incredible journey that we'll take around the world. This is just the beginning. And listen, if I can do it, so can you. Don't look at me here tonight as I am now. Please, you'll make a mistake. Jules is testimony to this. At 18 in my jeans and earrings, and I couldn't speak to anyone. No one wanted to listen to me. Everyone I spoke to laughed at me and put me down. And even my own parents thought I was nuts, right? You grow. It's done in inches, not in yards. And if I can do it, you can too. And I tell you this, if my story is proof of anything, it's that with a little faith, hard work, and dedication, you can pretty much accomplish anything in life. I want to thank you so much for becoming part of Arkworld, for helping me to help others. We're a team. Don't forget that none of us can get there alone. Thank you very much, and may God bless each and every one of you.